beautiful San Jose Center for the Performing Arts, it's the Beetlejuice Backstage Talk Show, Maxie's Pad, with your host, your North American Tour traveling Maxie Dean, Dan Mason. Coming up this week on the pad, we're going to have news from the netherworld, plus a one-on-one interview with Mr. Sexy Pants himself, your Adam Maitland, David Wilson. And a special treat, we're going to have a special live stream performance from three-time Tony winner, Patty LuPone. And now, give it up for your host with the most. He's Dan Mason. Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Such a pleasure to have you back after our 1 week hiatus on Maxie's Pad. We got Do Not Fear a Nerd is here. Just Mac is here. Look, 52nd. All of our regulars Friday are lives coming in from the UK. Look at this. We're just going to smash records for viewership this week. Before we bring in our special guest, I want to give you some news from the netherworld. Our matinee show today had a couple understudies going in. Adam Fields, who you met in episode number 2, had his third BJ performance of the tour, and he also played Beetlejuice. Do with that what you will. Do with that joke what you will. Also, shout out to Ian Dimbrick, who went on and covered Otho today. That was exciting. But one of the questions that we get a lot in the inbox, you guys ask, what is tour life like? What's it like being on the road? And the question is, it varies week to week. No 2 weeks are the same. There are times when we were doing the sit down at the Pantages, where we were staying like 2 blocks from the hotel. It was an easy walk over. It was an easy commute. Other cities were several miles away from the hotel, so they get us a rental car fleet. And this is for everybody, the musicians, the stage management crew, the cast. We usually jump in 4 to a car. And in a big welcome to San Jose this week, half of our rental car fleet had their windows smashed in the hotel parking lot. And we all came out to go to the show and realized half of the people couldn't get there because the cars had been broken into. Fortunately, nobody had any valuables stuck in the car. Nobody was injured. But that was a big warm welcome to San Jose. So there you are, friends. Some of you are like wannabe actors, aspiring actors. You're like, I want to be out on a tour. Yes, you too could get your car broken into. So that is the news from the netherworld. Let's bring in our guest. He is your North American tour, Adam Maitland, and also the man who's getting the thirstiest DMs of the cast. We're going to talk about that coming up in this interview. Please welcome my friend and yours, David Wilson, everybody.
Hello.
Should we get Charlie Chase and the Maxie's Pad Orchestra to play you in?
Yes, get it.
My laptop speaker isn't very loud, so I don't even know how the Good Night song is going to work this week. Welcome to Maxie's Pad.
Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh, so fun.
He's done like KTLA, the biggest TV station in Los Angeles at Pantages, but this,
and I couldn't be happier to be here. So.
Yep, as you should be.
Yes.
Before we get into the inbox of it all,
right.
I don't know if we've ever talked shop or the craft of acting on this show. I'm kind of curious, coming in, your approach to playing Adam, because in my estimation, it's not like, playing Beetlejuice and Lydia is all sorts of heavy lifting, vocally, energetically, for the sheer time you're spending on stage. I kind of feel like in many ways, Adam is one of the toughest putts acting wise, especially from a comedy standpoint, because when the assignment is, well, I have to be boring. That's the comedy, is that I'm boring. In the hands of a lesser actor, the performance could come across maybe milquetoast, uninteresting, especially in a really over-the-top show like this. So how did you approach your Adam Maitland when you're coming into this and not getting lost in the sauce of it all?
Oh, that's a really great question. When I first kind of got the script and was working through it, I was thinking back because I had seen the production years ago, and I am such a huge fan of Carrie Butler and Rob McClure and stuff like that. But I just knew that like my Adam was just inherently going to be different. I didn't really have a reference, you know. I feel like they're iconic in the movie, but I feel like in less ways of like they don't have like a distinct voice or they don't have some distinct like features other than they're a pretty vanilla couple. And I have to say, my process was made a million times easier with my Barbara, Caitlin Feely, who is, I just like really lucked out. I think I got somebody who not only like matches my kind of mannerisms or the way that we just gelled together so wonderfully, and that was kind of the thing I was scared about. We had never met before the
Yeah.
show, so it was just coming in and knowing that our kind of stories or our job was so intertwined together. It was just making sure that when I was building something, I was always kind of adding to her. And I guess I tried not to concern myself with being funny. That was like the big thing in preparing this. I thought, I know my character is kind of, we are the how our director Katie Davis liked to put it, we were kind of the audience in to the show. You know, they a lot of audience says that they see themselves as like the Maitlands and all this craziness around them, and so it was just like honestly a fun job of like, okay, I do my normal stuff. I have my backstory. I have the circumstances that led to where we are now, and building a lot of that. But then just this was such a fun show to just kind of evolve like how what I was receiving. You know, Adam is very much we find these characters just getting tossed into a situation and having to deal with it. And that I think really helped me uh just kind of take a load off of like, oh, I have to figure these things out. It's like, no, they're just receiving a lot at all times
Yeah.
in this show. They are getting thrown around. They are getting um, tossed and groped and all of it. So just
And that doesn't even include what's happening in the DMs.
right, right, exactly.
We'll get to that.
And that I was, you know, it feels intoxicating in a show like this to want to try to be like super kooky and crazy and whatever. And I think with the Maitlands, I think there's just something so endearing about them and something so, you know, they're just like inherently dorky too. Like they're already funny because they're just big old losers and like the most wonderful way. Like he has so many weird, quirky habits. He has so many anxieties about him, and it was like I feel like the fun in making the character was like finding all the things that make Adam uncomfortable and having to deal with that in the show. You know, they go through this huge transformation, the Maitlands of like these scared they're literally scared to death of all these things in the world, and then coming out and uh by the end of the show they are now embracing this new family. They are now taking down a demon from hell, and they are doing things that they never could have done in their own lifetime, and that like finding that journey I think was like really fun to play around with.
I love that answer. Now, David,
Yes.
very different type. I mean, we've had some epic actors play this role over
Hmm.
the course of the first national tour, over the course of Broadway. Um, but I think it's fair to say, with no disrespect to the predecessors, wonderful actors, comic geniuses. Um, we got a sex symbol apparently on our hands in this show. The stage door for Mr. David Wilson, off the hook. The DM's off the hook. It's an interesting show in Beetlejuice because inherently the nature of the show is we kind of take down the fourth wall between the actors and the audience, particularly with Beetlejuice. And I think one of the challenges actors have had, Alex Brightman has talked about this, and he just did a whole TikTok talking about his stage door policy for Schmigadoon, which he's doing now. And a show where the fourth wall comes down during the show, it can lead some fans to thinking there's no fourth wall in real life, right? People kind of getting into the DMs. Yours have
Mhm.
been very, very active. Talk about that experience. Are you I mean, on some level, you're enjoying it. Is there
It's
anything that's come across where you're like, oh, that's too much? Talk about the fan involvement of it all, because
I've had the most fun, honestly, because with it,
yes,
I'm somebody who like I'm very welcoming and warm and open to. I really, from the bottom of my heart, would love to say that anybody who has sent me a message, like whether it be funny or playful or sincere, I really appreciate it. I love that you all and all the fans feel so like connected to the show and want to share that. I just, as a rule to myself, I don't really reply online to any of them, so I just kind of receive it all, just because I don't want
that's
to.
fair.
I want there to be a little bit of uh, my own privacy. I guess I just feel like if I respond to one, I have to respond to every single one, and in a way that I would love to do that. I think just kind of making sure that I don't open any can of worms that
That's fair.
But they,
Well, there's some Broadway cast where their DMs have been screenshotted and sent around the internet as
yeah.
well. So you don't want to also be on that end of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just always feel bad when I truly received some like really heartwarming ones, and then I'm like, this is so beautiful, and I can't respond to it. But just know that if you were one of those people that sent like lovely, lovely messages, I really appreciate it, and I have seen them all. And the ones that we are referring to, there's been some fun ones, or some silly ones. There's also been, I feel like people have taken the liberty to as my attractiveness or Adam's attractiveness is very much mentioned by Beetlejuice. Some have taken that outside of the world of the
Oh, it's
play.
not just Beetlejuice that's trying to. Um, Occasionally there are
Mhm.
some Hall of Fame level DMs that come in
Oh my gosh.
that we're aware of in the
Hmm.
cast. We'll just put it that way.
Yes.
Let's talk about the person that asked you. This is just my personal favorite that I'm going to
Hmm.
ask about.
Yes.
Are you wearing any padding in your pants, or do you really just look that way?
I love that. Yes, someone had referred to if my backside had a little extra cushion in it. I can read it actually. I
Yeah,
have it
pull
right.
that up. Because what you don't know is actually all the Adams contractually, Rob McClure demanded it in his
Hmm.
rider. He's like, I need some padding. I want that peach to pop. And
Yes.
now all the Adams
It
have
was the
had it
first thing I
since then.
noticed in my contract.
That's
It
not
was
true, by the way. That's not
no, no, cut that and send it to Rob McClure and tell him
God.
I'll say it. I stand on it. Yes, says right here. I won't show who sent it, but it says, "Did they make your butt look bigger in Beetlejuice, or is it naturally like that?" And I like. There is no padding. It's all real. It's all real. I don't have the money for
Yeah.
that.
No,
um,
no implants.
that's for the second tour. That's when
Yeah.
I'll save up and
You
I'll
need
really
that
get together.
equity contract
Right,
to
exactly.
afford
Oh
the
boy,
full
yes.
implants.
Yes.
Let's talk. Let's get into any other fan stories that you've had, or any other DMs that have come in. Any stage door experiences.
I have to say I've really had such a positive stage touring and fan
The stage
experience.
touring has been great on this
Mhm.
tour. Like, everybody's been lovely.
I really can't say that there's been. I mean, a couple of people will shout out, say, "Hi, Ian." um, yes, I've had a couple of sexies yelled out at me and whatnot. Nothing, honestly, nothing too like crazy. I have had some people. This is like interesting to me. A bit of a lot of people are not scared to share their opinion on the show.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
you mean away from like the Reddit people? Are
It's a
you
bit of the Reddit. It's a bit of the people in person too, and
okay?
I respect all the opinions, and it's subjective. And I knew coming into a show like this that there was going to be comparisons to like my predecessors and whatnot. I've had some people really warm my heart and be like, "Oh, you're my favorite Adam," or some people
Like,
are
I have notes for you, sir.
right.
Like,
Or someone said a couple days ago that apparently I had a very rough first scene, and then and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Sure." Like,
I mean, the fan base is so protective of this show,
yeah,
and people are so
yeah.
and that's one of the lovely things about doing it is
Mhm,
the fan involvement. It's why we do this live stream for a handful of you that are like the super fans
mhm.
every week. but there's also, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a way to handle that.
Yeah,
Uh,
remember that these are people doing their jobs 8 times a week, who are exceptionally talented individuals. And I find it interesting. A lot of comparisons we're getting are to the first equity tour. And someone said that me having a vocal, I believe, I know that the show too, where I was like, we're human beings. Our voice are tired. Not every show's 100%. All right. Like, not every show's a home run. um, and I was really interested by it because they were like, "This is the problem with non-equity tours. Is like you'll never see somebody in an equity tour having a problem like that." And I was like, "That's really interesting to me, the way that these things are looked
really?
at." Yeah,
I've
and
seen some equity shows where people were
well,
not
I
in great voice.
not even that. It's like, well, yeah,
I mean,
I
it
would say
happens, part
like
of the job.
every performer is not going to have greats like Audra McDonald, when she had to call out Gypsy, she was having some healing. And Alex Brightman in the original run of Beetlejuice also developed a vocal injury, or was it School of Rock? I don't remember. And like,
And
it's a very common, I would just like to dispel that rumor that because this is not an equity production, that we are not at the caliber. We are working with many of the creatives from the Broadway production. This is very much still the staple production. And I appreciate everyone's passion. But I also just would like to highlight that these performers who are doing this production are so incredibly talented, so incredibly generous, so wonderful human beings. And so I might get a little protective of them too, because they work their padded butts off
and
to make sure that
everybody's padded.
we are giving you the production that you expect and you've fallen in love with. And that I feel like we have honored that in a really beautiful way, and that this production is just as beautiful, and that we really have something fresh and wonderful to share with you all. And I hope that you receive that with kindness. And if you have your opinions, just always remember, be kind with them,
Yeah, yeah. Here. Well said. Let's get into some fan correspondence,
Yes.
and then
Oh,
we're gonna go on.
yes.
All right, so here we go. I didn't write down the person who asked this question. I should have.
Mhm,
They want to know,
mhm.
and this one actually just came in before we
Oh,
got into this,
amazing.
but it's my favorite question that's come in, maybe of any of them so far. You have a couple kissing scenes in this show. You
Yes.
have a little make out with the onstage wifey, Caitlin.
Mhm.
You have a little make out at the end of the show with Beetlejuice, Ryan. Yeah, he does. There's Adam in the back. You guys shared a moment today. You've had a
Mhm.
make out now with Adam. Who's the best kisser of the group?
Before I answer that, rate me out of 10, 1 to 10, Adam. He said
Adam said
25.
25.
Okay. Who's the best kisser? Ooh,
Softest lips, perhaps. Who?
that's really this is such a funny question. I'll be so honest about it. I honestly, Caitlin, wonderful kisser. Ryan has very soft lips, which was
Oh,
I unexpected. However, he in creepy old guy. I am always like, oh boy, here we go, because he is just mouth open, like I'm so. Like, I'm like the technique is a little chaotic. So I'd say
interesting.
Caitlin, I can always rely on her for a very effective, um,
Yeah.
well placed peck.
Okay. You're more. You're not a gaping open mouth kissing fan. You like maybe just a little like in Wedding Singer when they talk about church tongue, like
Yeah.
respectful,
When there's when
slight
there's
part
s-
of the lips.
when there's a bit of sweat on the nose and a bit of makeup, rubbing off, it
Mm.
doesn't make for a very romantic, passionate, kiss.
Friday Their Lives, super fan from the UK, wants to know what's one thing you've learned about yourself by being an actor?
Oh my gosh. That I don't have to try and not like be afraid to do things, that I grew up a very nervous child, and I'm a bit of a shy guy, and I would say like acting has taught me like it is okay to be afraid, and there's so much to learn in like navigating unknown spaces
Mm.
and it's I feel like a lot of people think like actors are these fearless like machines that can do anything. I'm like, we're terrified, and it's just having the bravery to go out and still try.
That actually leads to a question that I was going to ask in the afterlife audit. The Maitlands live their lives afraid, obviously. That's why they're stuck in the attic, as
Yes.
we learn in the show. What's a fear that you've outgrown and one you're still working through?
This there's my Barbara, and I love her. Caitlin, I just deemed you the best kisser in the show.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, thank you.
Yeah, you beat
Yes.
Adam and Ryan on that
Goddamn.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in. No, come on in.
I forgot where I am.
Pull up a chair, honey.
Yes,
Because
but I love this question because I was talking about this recently, like a fear I've gotten over. So, when I was very young, I had a DVD of all of Michael Jackson's music videos. And at the same time, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban had come out. And what is one thing that Prisoner of Azkaban and Michael Jackson have in common? Werewolves. They both turn into werewolves. One in the Thriller video and then in Prisoner of Azkaban. And I swear to God, I would watch it in my granny's house back in Detroit, where I'm from. And I was too scared for maybe 3 to 4 years to go into my granny's basement because I was like, the werewolf version of Michael Jackson is going to be down there. And as soon as I go to get my grandma's Coke or Pepsi, he's going to come out and get
that would have been the greatest thing in the world. Now, as an adult, you're like werewolf Michael Jackson.
me.
All right, so you've outgrown that one.
Well, we'll see when I go back to the house if
Okay.
if I'm still.
Is there a fear you're still working through?
Mm, the ocean. The ocean. I didn't grow up. I grew up around lakes. I'm from the Great Lakes state. All right. I like cannot. I just like. There's gonna be like what I don't know, like jellyfish or like something to step on, or I don't know. It's just like I hear about all these. What's it called? A riptide or something? What are? Sure. I
Mhm.
don't know. That's
Yeah.
something that happens. You don't get that. Well, maybe you do in lakes, but I feel safer in a lake.
No sharks and lakes. I guess that's the
No.
benefit. I invited Caitlin to come hang out today because we're going to play a little feature called "Do You Know Your Mate, Lend?"
Oh!
We're going to do this.
I
Much.
did.
Yes, yes, she's aware.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, yeah, that's why she popped in. All right, so I asked Caitlin a few questions before we went live today. She's got her answers prepared.
I do.
She has them written down and prepared.
I have them on
We're
my
going
phone.
to see if you talked about your great working relationship. We're going to see if you guys are really on the same page and how well you know your stage life.
She's ready for this test.
Caitlin can have one last meal before being banished to the netherworld forever.
He knows.
What is she choosing?
Is this like I want to say candy, like a specific candy?
Go ahead, say it.
Well,
What candy?
Well, there's also you have talked about this.
Someone doesn't
I'm
pay
thinking of
attention.
I'm thinking of two things. It has to be something with like mayo because she'll eat it out the jar. Or
My
I'm
dog
thinking
likes
like if it was like is it a meal or
No, you just got to answer
okay,
the
I'm sorry
question.
because I want to say those nerd clusters that
yeah,
you
that's fair too. That's a good answer. He's got some good answers.
Mm.
It is Arby's. We're for
No, we have the meats. Oh no, I didn't know that. Fuck.
How did I know Caitlin was going to answer Arby's and you didn't? What?
Because I immediately thought of the day where she was just full on eating mayo out of a tub, and I was like,
I fear that day frightened many. Yeah, that was a
And
tough
that
day.
was just
And I
a-
watched that video. I was like, wow,
and
this
so
is
when I think
yeah.
of Caitlin eating, that's the image that's burned in my mind
Yeah,
now. So I
that's
completely
fair.
forgot about Arby's,
Fair.
but yes, we have the meats.
I knew, even I knew that answer.
And
Okay,
Portillo's. Shout out to Chicago. That is, but you would.
I would
that's
not
okay.
know that.
That's
I don't know
okay.
what
okay.
that is.
So 0
Sorry
for
to that
1.
man.
Question number 2 on Know Your Maitland. Caitlin can spend eternity in the netherworld with one person from history, living or dead. Who does she choose?
It was just the first person that came to mind.
Oh, like Celine Dion?
No.
Who?
Although she's lovely.
Who would it be?
Do you know?
From history. It's just the first like if I don't
Someone
think
I love. Yeah.
I don't know. I would say something Dion.
It's Kristen Wiig.
Oh no, I didn't know that. God.
0 for 2.
I don't do well under pressure, guys. Oh
0 for 2.
my god. This is horrible.
Caitlin can play a gender bending role as a male character in the musical theater canon. Who is she choosing?
Wait, I have a different. I read the question wrong.
Oh no!
How did you read the
I
question?
don't know.
Was it like what?
It has to be in the musical theater canon. Wait, so I'm gonna change my answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, because
Well, I guess I didn't specifically say musical theater canon, so it could be any male character that you could play.
Oh, okay.
Movies,
I want
television.
this to be okay. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint.
Mhm.
This is a movie I've talked about that, like, I would love to be a musical. I
Oh,
could make any movie
I know.
into
I
a
just
musical.
haven't watched it.
I know you
but-
haven't. Who stars in it? You know it. I've talked about who stars in it.
Jim Carrey. Yeah, I was gonna say a Jim Carrey character.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's The Mask. The
Yeah.
Mask should be a musical.
Yes.
The Mask should be a musical.
And Caitlin actually, like, I will say this, because I've said this before, and I will say it to your face, and I mean this with love. For a woman who is strikingly beautiful, like
Oh.
our friend Caitlin Feely,
Kind and generous.
yeah, nobody makes crazier faces.
Mm.
Is evidenced by just the photo she uses on her WhatsApp profile. Like that photo, just like some of the faces you make, you could rock Jim Carrey in the
Thank
mask.
you.
I want
love
everyone, if
him.
anyone is coming to see the show soon, when we get to a scene in Act 2 where Caitlin may or may not be floating in the air, I need y'all to just take a look at her face. I need and I just need you to fixate on it.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
That's
not to
so
make you
funny.
conscious about
That's
that,
so
but
funny.
it's
That's
the
so
funniest thing
funny.
I've ever seen, and I love it.
1 for 3 on
1 for
Know
3.
Your Maitland.
Yeah.
There we go.
How do you feel about that?
He's doing great. I know he knows these answers.
I'm really bad under pressure.
Just didn't know if you were ready to trade him
'Cause
in
you
for a
also
new
had
stage
good-
husband.
Yeah, no.
I had like adjacent answers, you know?
No, it was good. It was good.
Informed answers.
Wait, I have one more question. Because Dan said one or two. Wait, do I have? Yeah, wait. Oh wait, can I ask this last one?
You can ask whatever you want. What is it? Well, you got to say the question for the audience.
Wait, I can't ask. It's
But-
too foul.
No, well, give it to me and I'll ask. Do you want me to ask? What is the question? Because I have no boundaries. Oh, God. When Caitlin comes on for her own episode, we'll talk about Caitlin's
I love this woman.
uber willingness
I
to
love this
share about
woman.
bodily
I
functions.
love this woman.
How many times has Caitlin shat today?
How many times have you FTB?
Yeah.
Okay. FTB, for people who don't know, is fill that bowl. And
Secrets are coming out.
I would say like a good you've at least done it twice today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, friends.
And that's what really matters. That's the question that really matters.
Well, I don't know where this all went off the rails. I've got a bunch of other
You
questions
invited us.
we're not-
I'm sorry.
No, it's you know
Supposed
what?
to be classy and
Caitlin will have her own episode where we'll go more into IBS. We'll talk about that. But we are coming up on our call time, so we've got to wrap things up, friends.
it's time you sing your song.
Yeah, it's time to sing the goodnight song.
Oh, heck yeah.
I don't even know if the music is going to come in entirely because this laptop is a little quiet. Let me pull up our lyrics. All right. Electrocuted on the stage. Now is Adams all the rage. And the thirsty fans are flooding his inbox. Adam, in a sensible
green plaid. I'm giving wholesome, giving dad.
So please stop sending him pics of your fan art. Now we have to say goodnight. They're calling tender places. We hate to end the show, and we'll miss your gorgeous faces. Now, darling, don't be sad. We'll reunite another day. 'Cause Maxie's pad is just the friends we made along the way. But that was really well rehearsed, guys.
Thank you.
I hope all the casting companies are watching that. Hey, thank you, everybody, to David Wilson for coming on the show. Thank you. Special appearance by Caitlin Feely. Come see them as Adam and Barbara Maitland on the Beetlejuice tour. You can see them this Thursday in West Lafayette, Indiana. And then we'll be in Bloomington Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Go to the Beetlejuice Broadway website for the full list of tour dates. Our apologies again to Patty LaPone, who we do not have time to bring into the live stream. We'll try again for next week. In the meantime, stay booked, stay blessed,
and
stay
FTB.
fabulous, and yes,
FTB.
Oh.
Right
Good night.
Good night and good luck.
Good night.